It's not even 7 in the morning yet, and somehow I've already managed to have my pants and boots completely soaked. It was a beautiful and very productive day for photography. It had a little bit of everything: fog, plenty of sun, beautiful coast, thermal plants, windmills, cemeteries, horses and cows, and stunning cliffs. It was such a complete day that I learned 7 lessons on that trip that I wanted to share with you today. Let's start from the beginning. On my way to the coast, I ran into some thick fog, so I decided to leave the highway and look for something to photograph. I found this field with cool trees and power lines. I knew I was going to get wet getting into that field, but I would feel bad if I didn't try at least, so I went for it. I don't know if you could tell, but the grass was pretty tall and all wet from the morning mist. I didn't know at the time if the images that I had made there were worth the wet pants and boots, just bear in mind that I had the whole day ahead of me. Luckily it was pretty sunny and windy, so everything dried up really quick. Anyway, the first lesson is one that I should have learned a long time ago, but I keep making the same mistake. You should always have spare clothes with you, especially if you have a car. At least spare socks, t-shirt and shoes. So my idea for that morning was to be at a specific viewpoint for sunrise, but I didn't make it in time. I didn't make it because I stopped quite a few times on my way there. I stopped to photograph the fog first, then the windmills, the forests waking up, and even a thermal plant that looked pretty beautiful in those pastel colors. This is a lesson I learned very early on in my photography journey. Always stop and take the photograph while you have the chance. In the past, I would tell myself, I'll take the photo on my way back, I'll take it tomorrow. That never ever happened, or the conditions were completely different. I missed a ton of shots because of this. So now when I see something that I believe it might be worth photographing, I always take the shot. I give full priority to the image that I have in front of me, even above the images that I might have had planned for that day. For example, this day I didn't want to get to the coast, to that viewpoint, and find mediocre conditions and think that I missed shots on that foggy field. Eventually, I made it to the spot that I had planned to be at for sunrise. One funny thing about this bench, people around here call it the best bench in the world, which I know, sure, why not? The thing is that bench in Spanish is banco, and it's the same word for bank. So someone, I guess thinking that it would be the same in English, wrote the best bank in the world here a few years ago. Actually, that was not the one. This one is the best bank of the world. And I gotta say, I would deposit my money here, for sure. The best light was long gone at that point, so I did the only thing I could do, that is to sit back, relax, and enjoy the landscape. That's the third lesson of the day. Sometimes it's better to put the camera away and just take it all in. That being said, I did record some footage, so let's play it with some epic music. I'm tired. I told you it was a long day. I didn't get much sleep the night before. I woke up at 4 in the morning and had to drive over 2 hours to get to the coast, so I was pretty tired by noon. I had some food and a couple of coffees, which really helped me a lot. I was very awake after those coffees. Sometimes if I'm really tired, I just take a nap in the car. After all, a well-rested mind is worth several tired minds. There is no point in doing all the effort of driving really far away or going on a long hike if when we do get there we are too tired to see any images. So get your sleep and eat your vegetables. After a quick break, I went to a lighthouse that I had visited a couple of years ago. At this point, the day was totally sunny and the clouds were not moving much at all. I made some long exposures, but they were quite a fail. Despite having better equipment and more experience, I wasn't able to make images as good as the ones I did make there 2 years before. Conditions are everything, so this is the 5th lesson: revisit places as much as you can. So this is going to be footage from 2020 and the images are going to be from 2018, back when global pandemics weren't a thing. After several hours without making any good images, I was more than ready to call it a day. But since I had done all that driving, I decided to visit one last spot. Some beautiful cliffs where I was expecting to take a quick walk, maybe a couple photos, and then just head back home right after that. I was wrong, very wrong. I found incredible conditions with a fog that kept rolling in and out, creating different images every second. This was no doubt the most fun I had photographing this year so far. I completely lost track of time. I was there for more than 3 hours. It felt like 15-20 minutes, but it was more than 3 hours of me photographing a barren landscape of just rocks, grass, and some cliffs. This fog is pretty cool and pretty amazing, but I can't find anything to photograph here, just rocks. That's right, as beautiful as it was, I struggled to make images because I wasn't able to find any subjects. Don't get me wrong, I still love some of them, but I would have loved to have some structures, buildings, power lines, paths, something. There were cows and horses, but they were scary cats and I didn't want to disturb them too much. This leads us to the 7th lesson, the last one for today, and is that an image needs to tell a story. Unless you are going for an abstract, of course. An image has to show something, and the more clear it does it, the better. That is hard to achieve when all you have is rocks and grass and cliffs. I tried to capture some cool rocks, I even tried to capture myself with a self-timer. I tried to run all the way to the other side of the cliff, but I didn't get that there in time. That's all I got, but anyway. So try to find a clear subject. Anyway, this camera keeps shutting down, it's very hot, it's 97 degrees out there, that's why I'm sweating so much. Ugh. But if you made it all the way here, thank you so much for watching yet another video, and see you in the next one.